vakafira kunyazonya, vakafira kutengwe, vakafira kuZambia. Pachinoi, chinoi, viva chinoi, chinoi, viva chinoi. Buyane handa vakareva, mapupa kuachapuka, achapuka sano leono, chavakadya zino chakapuka. Zakanga zakaoma, kutangisa sano leono, zaida vakashika, kusungira kitsibera muro. Iwe tanga, ini ndotelera, wananga ini wanionei.
Yeah, becoming an international band has been a very good way to express and telling the first world what's happening in the third world. Most of the things that come out of Africa tend to be yet another drought, famine, or simply another corrupt coup government coming in again. Very few positive things tend to be reported. So internationally, I think we have been a good eye-opener to some people who would not have expected something like that to come out of Africa. Looking at the interest we, the Bundu Boys, have generated with all the traveling we have done in all the different places we have been to, like UK, United States, you know, I was left with the belief that those people are looking for something new. Looking at the richness of our music, which I don't think we have really discovered as yet, we are still emphasizing more on the outside music. All right, that's all right, but I think the people out there, they seem to be looking for something, especially from Africa. Since we have a lot of different aspects of music, especially here in Zimbabwe, we have Shangare, Mangwingwindo, even Rumba, Jit, Jikinya, Mbira, Mahombo. We still have to discover all those different aspects of music before we really go on into this disco. You know, so it's a matter of trying to give our name, our music a name, like what the people in the Caribbean did to reggae and calypso. It's now doing wonders in the whole world. We should identify our music, give it a label, and go for it.
It is barely a decade since Zimbabwe gained independence, but the impact of Western culture has been such that today's urban youth is having to be taught traditional music to ensure that it survives. In this workshop, students are being taught how to play an instrument which their ancestors used for centuries.
I'd like to start today with a little bit of theory.
and look at some rhythm from traditional music in Africa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Fantastic. Let's look what else we can do with the number 12. We can have 3 groups of 4. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's try it. Ready, begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Straight back. Nicely, and come up again. Great. Nicely, okay, right, and... Faster, 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 faster. Okay.
The originality of African music has delighted the world. Successful Zimbabwean bands like the Bundu Boys have created a musical culture firmly based in traditional roots. Village music has been the crucial source of their inspiration. This is a Shona wedding. After a Christian service in the city, the family and friends return to the bride's village for a traditional ceremony. Such family occasions are celebrated with singing and dancing, supported by marimbas and ingoma, or drums. This is one major source of modern popular music, which adapts the traditional melodies and rhythms for electric guitars, synthesizers, and brass. The imbira, or thumb piano, is the primary instrument in ceremonies involving spirit mediums. The imbira is uniquely Shona, perhaps on account of its religious importance and its age. It holds claim to be the soul of Zimbabwean music.
This music you see is one of the very ancient music of the Zimbabwean people. This music dates back to the time of Monomtapa in the great Zimbabwe ruins. It is the ceremony and the music and the people that connects us with our ancestors. It talks about planting, about harvesting, about rain, and it also talks about building a shelter. The relationship between this music and the modern music is still there. The only difference is that with the modern music, they are using the guitars and other modern instruments, while with this music, they're using the original, the ancient instruments like mbira. This music was taken by the young people, then they've created their own music called jiti.
Whether we like it or not, music is generally in the process of some kind of fusion. This is a natural progression. For instance, we started playing music with stones. From stones, we moved on to wood. From wood, we decided to put skin onto wood to get more sound. Then we had drums. Then somebody came up with the idea of using iron on wood. Then we evolved the mbira. So in that sense, music is in a process of change and adaptation. But if you're saying, should Zimbabweans make a deliberate choice to change their music only because we need to earn foreign currency, then I say no.
What I would like to do is really get into it and say, what is Zimbabwe music straight away?
Zimbabwean music is very broad, is very diverse, and we hope that in the future, more and more of our artists will refrain from playing other people's music and start playing original music. I don't like to use the word traditional because what we call traditional now was once shocking and fresh. And therefore, we should be creating the tradition for future generations. And we shouldn't think of tradition as static. Thank you very much.
Now, while we realize that Zimbabwean music is part of our culture and perhaps is the best form of expression that the common man has, there also has to be a realization that we are trying to cross international boundaries to seek wider audiences for our music, and with the ultimate goal, of course, of educating those we come across with, wherever we might be, about our culture, our way of life, our aspirations, our troubles, and our joys. But in order to appeal to them, we may find we have to appeal to them in a certain manner, which is not necessarily strictly traditional. If we were to stick to our tradition, perhaps some of those people may not understand it.
Zimbabwean musicians, they play what they know that Zimbabweans will like it. If there is any way of making that music going out there, well,
we change it accordingly.
Yes, anything can happen but you can't change what we are playing here, putting it in a different way, you see, because that's what we know. I'm sorry because we're trying to speak this English, but Shona was always our, but I'm trying to make it everyone.
So that everyone can understand.
Can understand, yes.
Which is actually what we're talking about, to reach wider audiences.
Exactly.
Thank you, my brother.
Such cross-fertilization of musical cultures would have been inconceivable in a police band during the days of colonialism. Modern Zimbabwe was born after 15 years of bitter civil war, which began in 1965 and ended with independence in 1980. Since then, despite political tensions and the strains of being a frontline state with South Africa, there have been encouraging efforts on all sides to forge a harmonious society, not just between blacks and whites, but between the two main ethnic groups, the Shona and the Ndebele.
Tinobvunza vanhu vachitaura kubatanaka, ona tinobvunza vose vachitaura kudanana uko, apa tichibvunza vose vachidzidza ndizvo. Kwete pamukuvengana iwe, kwete pamukusonda, kwete pamukurovana kana, kwete pamukunyima. tinobvunza ruzhinji rotaura kudzidzisana ona tinobvunza vose vachitaura kunzwisisana uko handi kudzidzira namune matambudziko zvipere kwete pamukupatsana imi kwete pamukushorana kwete pamukunyimana kani kwete pamukuoma musoro
This music, you know, it's a transition, right? From liberation music up to the music for development and reconciliation. At the present moment, we have got this unity. We want it so much, and we will have to develop our country. And to develop our country, we must be reconciled fully. And all my music should touch on these lines. And the way I do it is I'll have to say where the bad is and say where the good is. Right? To the truth of the good is where everyone should look to. So I shun the bad and always promote the good. It's a good road from Rhodesia to Zimbabwe. There was war going on. We tried to talk to the settlers, but everything was in vain. Most of our leaders then ended in jail. So that's when the struggle began.
Viva Sanu! Viva! Viva Sanu! Viva! Viva Sanu! Viva! Basham Sarewa! Basham Sarewa! Wanda kumanika!
The music itself did a lot of good things as well. The choir was made up of guerrillas, comrades, freedom fighters, who were fighting the system which was imposed to the people of Zimbabwe by the settler regime. It was Zanla's Freedom Fighters Choir. It had many names from the start up to the end, till we came here and we were called the People's Choir by the people. I was writing songs, and this now kept the morale of both the fighters and their masses high, and that's when I started really to become a musician.
A 100 miles from the city of Harare, Easter brings together followers of the Apostolic movement, the biggest religion in southern Africa. It has many sects, all united by one central dynamic: possession and guidance by the Holy Spirit. Although the apostolics draw upon the energies of African music, since their origins in the 1930s, they've also been influenced by the American gospel tradition. Oral tradition runs throughout Zimbabwean music. It finds a comfortable home in church and choral arrangements. It is the message in Comrade Chinks' lyrics. In fact, it sets the overall moral tone of most of Zimbabwe's popular music.
Right. Can you give me reasons why people sing? Why do people sing? Why do people sing? Peter?
People sing to pass a message to others.
Right. You, Ruben?
People sing because they want to earn a living.
That's quite good. And you?
People sing because they want to forget their problems.
Another one? You?
People sing to entertain others.
That's quite good. What we are going to do today is we are going to play a record by Oliver Mtukudzi. You must listen very carefully to the words, and if you have got a message to us. The record is about mother and two children, a boy and a girl. Right, what is happening to the boy, according to the record?
A boy now is a criminal.
Right, what about the girl?
The girl is now
witching. So, what does the mother do to the disappointment of these children?
Mother feel much pain to this day.
Right, the mother is feeling very much pained about the behavior of these children or her children, right? So, what is the relationship between the parents and their children? Speak up.
They are not respecting each other.
Right, that's quite good. Play dance for him. So, please stand up. Right, be free. Right. Dance, please. And you must be happy. Listen to the words very carefully.
Tinoshungurudza mai Tinoshungurudza mai kana Tinoshungurudza mai kana Makomana Manara ve kororo Mai vanobvunza mukombele shungu Mwanasikana wave kuroya Shungu dzamai kana sihuro Tinoshungurudza mai Tinoshungurudza 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 mai Tinoshungurudza Oh, Yerende, oh, Yerende, oh, Yerende, oh, Yerende, oh, Yerende, oh, Yerende.
My music is to teach. That means my music is educational. It's so important in my music because I have to keep in touch with the youth so we could have a bright future. My music has to be entertaining so that one can come to listen to the lyrics and the message is put across. Soroi. Diriguda. Kuda.
Many of Oliver Mutukudzi's songs are humorous anecdotes which can last for half an hour. This form of singing is a natural progression from the oral tradition inherent in Zimbabwe's culture.
I want to talk, yeah, talk. I want to talk, talk. I want to talk, my talk. Yeah, baby. Kana kapepa na ukaya mai vekwangu kureva kuti maibhedha hafu semunhu anenge aona munhu unovaona vanomhanya mamerika naibaba iniwo semunhu andezengaonawo munhu ndinodawo kuratidza simba pamusoro pemusha wangu ndodairawo nezwi gogo rinenge rakati rerukei mazengo masikora sei pano nevana nhama mwana ndo chikonzero chimwe chetecho chakaita kuti ndigare pasi kufunga kuronga karwiyo kanyoronyoro kanenge donje kakaita sekano pfungwa dzikati dawo runomwe wakatanga uchiti zvauya seiko mama zvauya seiko mama zvauya seiko mama
The difference between the Western kind of music and our African music is that we don't sing about love. We sing of poverty, we sing of war, what we feel, that's happening here at home. And if you take, for instance, one of my songs that's called Tubegile Ubaba Wafa, which means that I am in this state because my father is dead, or I am poor because my father is normal. I talk about myself, but really any other person can identify themselves with that. Now, when you look at the Western kind of music, really you don't get people singing about their fathers dying and their families being hungry and they don't have a place to live.
Westimela Mbombela. Helele, helele, Bati helele, helele, Bati helele, 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 Westimela Mbombela. Hola, Westimela Mbombela. Mapose manibulala, abafana bezimaweni, helele, abafana bezimaweni, abafana bezimaweni, helele, abafana bezimaweni, helele. Westimela Mbombela, hola, Westimela Mbombela, hola.
The main function of our music is teaching and comforting the people. A lot of them identify themselves with that. So it's really comforting. Like if I sing to a person who is in the same, dilemma, they would actually, maybe shed a tear or two. Now you find that it's not only me that sings about what I feel, but they too out there are singing the same words. Although they are not singers, they might talk of the same words, but they identify with the same words that I'm singing. The songs didn't come from me. They were always there before I was born. There were songs that were sung at ceremonial gatherings, so I only broadened them.
Samlela, samlela, samlela nangama bulala. Samlela, samlela, samlela nangama basbulala bo, basbulala bo, basbulala bo. Basbulala bo, basbulala bo, basbulala bo. Oliver Tambo, Ota Sisulu bo, Lawe Mandela bo. Ota Sisulu bo, Oliver Tambo bo, Lawe Mandela bo. Basbulala bo, basbulala bo. Basbulala bo, basbulala bo, basbulala bo, basbulala bo. Kugama, 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 kugama.
Thank you. I began singing about 20 years ago, man. I may look young, but it's been years of toiling, you know. So much that I would really love, you know, if we had a strong, like, union here, and we would want to ask our government to open its doors a little bit wider for us. I was in England one time and I saw how the musicians up their work, you know. It's my wish that our people would get together and work like that.
What we need in our union is a revolution to change right from the top, because what has been going on, it seems there were allegiances, and at the same time, some people are now afraid of, you know, for us to be strong, we must really make wherever we came from must be clear. If not clear, it must be explained. You remember last week we had a chaotic meeting in Queens, at Queens. You know, it was really embarrassing. What we need is start from the bottom and change all over. Last week was really embarrassing, man.
People were all for the union, as long as they were employees. But as soon as they became boss, they didn't want to hear of the union at all. Because once you are the boss and you are the equipment owner, you are the owner of the tools of the trade as such, you don't want to hear about a union at all, because you want to rake all the funds into your own pocket.
That's not the point. I used to have a management where that owns instruments. And they weren't musicians. We suffered. We ate raw cabbage. But out of the little I got, I managed to buy myself a small guitar to play on my show. I negotiated with the management to have a little share for my guitar, because I'm using my own guitar on this band. It was very hard those days. I asked my fellow musicians, look here guys, let's group up a little coins and let's get ourselves equipment. But one wasn't interested, and I did it by myself.
Political independence has boosted the buying power of the masses. For the few musicians who succeed, there's a fair living to be made. Along with the bigger audience comes a greater variety of music, a lot of it from outside Zimbabwe, with recordings from Britain, America, and the Caribbean now commanding more airtime than indigenous music. Sometimes local musicians adapt their compositions to include external elements. Traditional musicians feel under attack, and there's a continuing battle between authenticity and anything that sells. This song by Ilanga is one of the biggest hit singles in the history of Zimbabwe music.
No more fake love, I want true love, baby. No more fake love, I want true love, baby. No more fake love, I want true love, baby. No more fake love, I want true love. I need, I want true love. I need, I want, I want true love. I need,
Our audience is from the little boy to the old man, domestic to industrial worker, university students. It's really everybody from different parts of society. We felt that we needed to take Zimbabwean music to a higher level. And so we started to play around with different rhythms of Southern Africa as such, including Zimbabwe. And that's what we came up with this sound that we call hybrid. And it's happening, man.
Hybrid or fusion, as it is called at the moment, although I don't want to call it confusion, I find it's territory which can be very confusing in the end. Because in the end, we don't want to sound like Michael Jackson, but let's borrow the good elements of wherever that influence is coming out from and enrich our own music. We are still in the process of trying to identify our own music. But then going on to hybrid, it's like going to discover the world when you still don't know your own home ground or background. So one has to be very careful in this territory.
Zimbabwe, like other countries in southern Africa, has its own form of jazz. In this arrangement, the drums and piano play Shona rhythms. This gives an indigenous touch to American jazz, which has already been infused with the township music of South Africa.
Should Zimbabwean music be adapted for the international market, or shall we leave it as it is? And is there a battle between traditional, if we can call it that, traditional music and fusion music? If I'm going to open it to the flow.
If we all go fusing, which means we will lose also our identity there.
Way, yeah.
So it's not always that. All the sounds are from the ngoma and the mbira. Zimbabwean music, the sounds or the vibe really comes from that. Now we take it ahead and bring the guitar on. We bring the synthesizer on. As long as the sound is clear, there is no wrong infusing the whole thing, but make it clear to everyone.
Basically, what we are suffering from is the hangover colonial mentality, and this is the way I see it. And we must be clean and clear about it. Okay? It's a personal colonial mentality which I suffer from and which a lot of Zimbabweans suffer from. And that's the honest truth. I'll give you an example. My brother asked me to bring a pair of jeans from London. I went to Amata in Harare, bought the same pair of jeans that he wanted, took off a badge from my old jeans of Levi's and stuck it on that bag, and I gave it to him. And I said to him, this has come from London. He was very pleased to have this pair of jeans, right? 6 months later, I said to him, look, I fooled you. I bought this from Amado. He argued and argued, said, these are not local jeans. Man, these are from London. They're superior quality. So it's that mentality which we have, and we've got to kill it one way or the other,
Right.
starting with me.
Thank you. What is happening here is we are not yet proud of ourselves. You take any ordinary 16-year-old, right? First of all, he's got a box cut, and he's got dark glasses, and he's either on skateboards or whatever. And he will never identify with what you guys here are trying to do. Let's not run away from that. They would like to listen to to rap, they would like to listen to acid, and so on. But what role are we playing? Media is very important. What role are we playing to reverse that trend? Do we ourselves believe in ourselves? Or do we think it's New York, the Bronx? Let us face to the reality. The reality is we are not yet prepared to be who we are.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Martha.
Good. Again? Okay.
These students at the music college in Harare may be the musicians of the future. Caught between traditional and foreign music, they will have to learn both and eventually define their own position.
Now. Join us and listen. We are from Zimbabwe, singing a song for you. Friends all over the world, join us and listen.
Okay, stop. Begin again. You're going to roll to this drum now, transferring with the right again. Begin again. Stop, stop. I told you not to hold the stick like this. It's like this. Begin again. Now, I hope you guys are practicing those techniques I showed you, basically rolling with the stick, keeping timing as well. Sir, you cannot lean on the chair like that and be playing drums. It's not happening.
The college provides young Zimbabweans with an opportunity to learn to use the tools of their future trade. Some of the teachers in the workshops are prominent popular musicians who have come here to help the students realize their dreams.
The purpose of the workshop again has been to identify where we are heading with our music. People like me, I didn't have the opportunity like you are having of learning to read and write music. So hopefully this kind of workshop is going to fire up your imagination and you'll end up being better musicians than us. When I was growing up, I remember in the moonlight, we would be out dancing to jit while the elders are playing mbira music. You know, for example, people will be celebrating harvesting or even appeasing our spirits. So this was our good pastime outside, you know, while the elders are in the huts doing the serious business. And I feel now that we are in the, well, we must admit, in the modern world, we must move with the times. So you find we have synthesizers, we have guitars and stuff, but still the spirit must all be within the music. I'll give you an example.
Swara